Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Bent with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have one of our favorite returning guests, Alayna, with us today. We're going to talk about her powerful new single, Top of a Dream. The up-tempo song that comes straight from her heart shares an intimate glimpse into her past and the struggles she has faced in overcoming domestic abuse. We're also going to talk about some new music that she's working on and her music video for her prior single, Making Babies.
And we're excited to have her on.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's so great to be back.
Yeah, this is third time coming on, I think, isn't it?
I think.
Oh my gosh, I think so, yeah.
Because you were also one of the very first.
Right, with our first couple months, of the show. Yeah, when we were just audio back then. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing that interview. I think I was like in the car traveling somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot easier when it was audio.
Yeah.
Like we had a 1-year-old at that time, and I would be in the back with her, unmute, as she was crying or upset or needed something.
It was actually good that we started audio and not video with the show, because back then, many times she'd be on the phone and cleaning a dirty diaper and all that,
fixing a bottle, whatever needed to be done.
So couldn't do all that with video.
No, a little different now. Now she has a nap schedule, so we're good.
So I always like to start out the same way. How has COVID affected you, and what have you done through this crazy time to kind of get through it?
Oh my gosh, it's definitely affected me. 2020 was a rough year for sure. Mm-hmm. We couldn't perform and everything. I kind of went on a downward spiral. Wow. I mean, this is like we're kicking off the show this way, but
let's just dive in, right?
Dive right in. Yeah.
Dive right in. I ended up like self-harming and ended up in the hospital in the psych ward for 5 days. So it really did take a toll on me for sure. It was a whirlwind experience being in there. But I got a song out of it.
Yes. Oh,
maybe I'll play it later.
Yes,
that
sounds
we would love to hear it. And 2020 was rough for a lot of people, and it was. You had good moments and bad moments. I mean, I think the worst moment for 2020 was not knowing. You have people on TV talking about concerts will never come back.
A new normal where
churches will never come back,
never do things the same
and so you're sitting there like, are they right? No, they can't be right.
Really
and so I think that was probably the worst part for us.
The fear of the known.
We're wanting to eventually move to Nashville, and the big reason is entertainment, and we're
you kind of had to push your plans back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just, I mean, and I think I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we're still technically in the pandemic.
Right.
And things are still things are opened back up. I just saw they announced CMA Fest.
Oh, that's great. That's happening this year. That's good.
Yeah. Somebody said in the stacking of toilet paper.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was the craziest thing. The toilet paper.
That was the craziest thing.
Who would have thought toilet paper shortages?
The good thing for us is we live in a neighborhood off of the roads, and there's a convenience store right by where we live. Nobody knew about it except for the neighborhoods by it. So they always had toilet paper. That's where
okay. Well, that's good. You kind of had a little secret place to go.
We did. Yeah, we weren't telling you.
And I maybe told a friend or two. I was like, but I was not announcing it on Facebook. No. Like, you know what? They'll come over here, and then we won't have it out. I mean, we did our part. We bought what we needed. We didn't, even though it was right here. We could have bought tons. We're like, nope. We did our part. We bought what we needed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For sure,
But that was a crazy time.
It was. Oh my gosh, I will never forget it. I never would have thought, when I was younger, that something like this would happen. Never in a million years, but it's happening. It's happened. It's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, but again, we can look back now. Although we're not fully out of the pandemic, I think that the worst is gone. I think.
Yeah.
We hope. And if it is, we can look back in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years and say, think about it. We'll have 20 years, 30 years. We'll be talking to the next generation and say, you just won't believe 2020.
Yes, for sure. I can totally see that.
So you've had a long road to where you are today. Talk a little bit of some about that, because again, you know us, we like to get up close and personal. That's why our tagline is. Totally. And I think that without that side of it, the rough side, I think that it takes away from who you are then when you don't share that.
Yeah. Well, where do you want me to start? Do you want me to start back in childhood? Do you want me to start in Nashville?
Start where you feel comfortable.
Yeah, wherever you feel comfortable.
Well, it has been quite the journey, and I'm super grateful for my experiences and what I've gone through. I just have to say that,
right.
Like my single now, Top of a Dream, is about the domestic abuse that I experienced growing up with my grandparents, mostly verbal abuse, but yeah, I mean, after a while of the name calling and everything, you start to believe that about yourself.
That's right.
So it's like I didn't really realize like how much it had affected me or taken a toll on everything until I moved to Nashville.
Wow.
Yes.
And I always knew that I was like more emotional than a lot of people and just really affected by things. And it all made sense whenever I was diagnosed with PTSD.
Oh, yes.
Different doctors, and I was like, wow, that makes sense now,
Yes.
It's like all this, you're wondering, okay, what's wrong with me? And then all of a sudden you put it together.
An answer, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what you said. And so it's been quite the journey. Been not only the journey of the music and, trying to better myself as an artist and a songwriter and everything, but also trying to reprogram my brain. So it's been quite a lot, but I don't know if I would trade this life for anything, honestly. It's great to be here in Nashville. It's wonderful to be surrounded by so much talent. And I truly am grateful. I want everyone out there to know that even though I went through like a lot of stuff, like I'm really grateful for it.
And talking about it is where you get the healing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that people don't, a lot of people don't get this when when you go through any type of trauma. I mean, even like I went through 19 years of addiction, it's still trauma. And they don't get that you're not looking for sympathy. You're trying to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I talk about it, I mean, this is like becoming a normal for me. A new, just like talking about everything in interviews. I honestly enjoy it, and it helps me. And yes, Melanie said music helps. Yeah, it does help. And
so much.
I just hope that I can help somebody else too.
Right.
Like that's. The reason why I do everything I do is because I hope that, the music and the stories and everything will help people.
Yeah.
People.
And then on top of that, not only with everything you went through, then you got this crazy music career that, as you know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, the glory in what Blake, Carrie, Miranda, all of them do. But they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the many nights of tears that you wonder if things are ever going to happen and all that. And is it too late? Is it too early? And it's so many things that go through, because we are on the same platform as you, just, you know, a little different platform. Your music, we're a host, you know, so we get it. And we always like to talk about that side of it, because a lot of people, they see that glory, but they don't see the grind. And talk about some of the sacrifices and struggles you've had to go through, even to get to where you are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a signed artist, not yet, hopefully, but I mean, there's been a lot of sacrifice, you know, just like my time, you know, I just recently quit my retail job just to work on YouTube videos and TikTok.
Oh, wow.
and making content and stuff.
Because I remember back in 2014, 15, you were killing it back then on YouTube.
I know. I was doing pretty good.
Remember,
I got wrapped up in this job and it took me away from YouTube. And now I'm just like, I have to get back into that, you know, because labels are looking at that and they're looking at TikTok.
It's more important now than ever.
It is more important. Social media is, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's like, it's so important, and like, but there's so many people on social media now doing it, and like lots of people getting big on TikTok and everything. It's just competitive, you know. The music industry can be really competitive and cutthroat, like, but.
And it's crazy because I remember, I can't remember who he was, but he was part of one of the labels, and he private messaged me, and this was like a year ago. So, you know, it's even stronger now. And he says, I know that you interview a lot of up and coming people. If you ever run into a female artist that has, I think it was, what was the number? Like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. He says, connect me. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking, oh, we got that.
Oh, that's right. It was 15.
Or 15,000. I thought at that time, I said, oh, we got that. I'm going through all the people I love up and coming. Nope. I said, God, none of them have 15. But that's what they're looking for.
I've been on YouTube for like how many years now, and I'm still only at like 6,000 subscribers, you know?
And so it's like when he said that, I thought, because, you know, I'm thinking, you know, hey, I've got friends that have 1 million on Facebook, and they still didn't have 15,000 on YouTube.
It's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, but I'm just going to keep going. You know, I'm not going to stop. I have to keep trying. And I don't know. I can't stop this. I just love it.
It's so in much. You.
You know, yeah, it's in you. It's in me. And yeah, I just love it too much. I want it so bad. And I just, you never know. You never know, something can hit. And you never know.
And you can't always believe the executives anyway. We had an executive on, and I one of my questions I asked him was, what's one of his regrets when he was with a label of signing people? And he says you're gonna laugh. He said he was
two of
and he had 2 of them. He said, I'll tell you 2 stories. And he said people are going to think I was crazy, but they didn't know what I thought back then. He said, it was like, don't always listen to executives. He says, when Jason Aldean and Kenny Chesney both came to him, he said no.
That they would never make it.
Oh,
look at them now.
There.
And then, I mean, when you look at Luke Combs, I mean, I think 2 years ago, he put out that tweet thanking all the executives that said the 6 songs he played for them would never make it, and all 6 went #1.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Sometimes you just need rejection to push you to the next level. Yeah. I love my friend says, rejection for your protection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, like he was saying, if he would have signed Jason or Kenny, they might not would have made it. He says maybe the connection would not have worked.
Someone who really believed in them,
and so you know, and I think that's what people forget is just because a rejection happens doesn't mean you're not going to make it. It just means you aren't making it with that person.
Yeah, it's just not that person for you, you know, and that's what I want to find. You know, that right person here in Nashville, you know, that really believes. Like, I've met a lot of people, and I've been meeting with, you know, a person from Warner Chapel right now, and that relationship. But like, you know, I want it to be the right person, you know, that understands me and what I'm doing, and So it's really important to find your right person. I know Jason Aldean's producer, Michael Knox, and believed in him from the get-go.
Oh wow.
And like, they've obviously cultivated such a successful relationship because he produced number one song. So, there's a reason for everything.
And of course, that's the idea for a producer or manager and all that, is they want to attach this to the next person, because then as they rise, they all rise together, and they always believed in them. So again, they rise with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in that. I believe, we should like cultivate relationships around us and co-writing and everything. And that way we can all rise together and be successful together. And I really hope I have a great writing team with my husband, Adam.
Oh,
yes. How's marriage going?
Oh, it's going good. I love being married. I think it's really fun. I love my husband so much. He's wonderful.
Yeah, because that was something that, us knowing your story. It's funny. Through the years, we always joked and like, they need to be together.
I know.
and we called that long time ago. And I was like, she talks about this guy all the time on Facebook.
And he seems like a great guy.
And their roommates and all that. And they're like, well, take the next step. Why don't they?
I know. Yeah. For a long time, I didn't think that he was the one. I didn't think that we gelled together. But I dated other guys, and then I realized, like, hey, like, he's my best friend, and honestly, I can't imagine my life without him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now that you've been able to talk about your past with him of the dating side, what was he going through his mind when you would go through this guy, that guy, and of course you had to run to him. I'm sure he had feelings for you then. I mean, how did he handle that side of it?
I think he tried to. God, I feel so bad now. Like, he tried to comfort me the best that he did, and still have boundaries.
Yeah,
right. Like, jump in, but I think I don't know, I just admire him so much. I think he handled it so well. And Adam, I'm sorry if I
hurt you. I'm sure he completely forgives you now. I mean, he still won in the end, right?
You know what's really funny? My ex-boyfriend messaged me last night on Snapchat.
Oh wow!
It was so weird. He's like,
just randomly.
Yes, like out of nowhere. And he was like, "Did you get married to your roommate?" And I said, "Yes, I did last year." And he never responded. So I don't know. I'm a little weirded out right now. I'm sorry.
Oh wow!
I'm a little weirded out. I don't know, but I love my husband.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got married. It's wonderful,
You can tell.
You could tell. Yeah, absolutely.
Yay. It's great to be married to your best friend, just like you guys too.
That's right.
Yep, I can't imagine that. Again, we're about to October 5th will be 20 years married, and and we wouldn't. And again, so, you always see these people on Facebook where they ask, if you could change anything from your past, what would you? And I'm like, I can't. I wouldn't want to change anything from my past because it led me right to her.
It would change your timeline, right?
And even if I changed something since we married, it would change the timeline where our 2 kids wouldn't be here. So, again, I can't.
Everything had to happen the way it did.
Yeah, and I believe it made us, her and me, the people we are today, so that we could come together, so that we could create a crazy show that we never imagined doing.
Oh yeah. The crazy adventure, that's for sure.
Well, you guys are awesome and you're doing great things, and I am very thankful for you and I admire you and what you're doing, so keep at it.
Well, we appreciate that. So you're going to perform a song for us?
Yes, if you would like to.
We would love that.
So what's the first song going to be?
Well, I guess I will start off with my current single, Top of a Dream.
Floor is yours. Tell us about it a little bit, and floor is yours.
Sure. I wrote this with Thirsty Manna, who wrote Austin for Blake Shelton.
Oh, wow.
This song is actually like 10 years old. But that's okay. But I recorded it a long time ago, but I just recently did like the re-recording of it, like an updated version. So it's about my experience with the domestic violence and everything. And I'm really grateful that she was open to hearing me talk about that. So,
wow.
But yeah, this is called Top of a Dream. Hopeless, you called me hopeless, said I was worthless, wouldn't amount to anything, and I didn't deserve it. You never were worth it. All your flawless negativity words were like poison, noise and confusion. Yeah, you try to cut me down. You might never get this, but I don't resent it. Yeah, I'm better for it now. I'm standing on the sky, a place you never thought I'd be. I left it all behind, but I learned all the I can't ever not believe, 'cause it's so deep written now from the top of a tree. You didn't know it, but the fire started growing when you threw that match over the wall. I didn't make a sound, you thought you burned me down, but it only made me strong. I'm standing on the sky, a place you never thought I'd be. I left it all behind, but I learned on the climb. I can't ever not believe, 'cause it's so deep written now from the top of the tree. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I choked back the words until now. I'm standing on the sky, a place you never thought I'd be. I left it all behind, but I learned on the climb. I can't ever not believe. I'm standing on the sky, a place you never thought I'd be. I left it all behind, but I learned on the climb. I can't ever not believe, 'cause it's so deep written now from the top of a tree. From the top of the tree.
Oh, wow. Beautiful song. Love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
it. And, you know, talking about the words and all that, you know, you got that old saying, you know, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I think it should be changed to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will scar me.
Yes. That is true. I agree with you.
Because people, I don't think, people have believed into that lie for so much that it made people say, well, if words don't hurt you, then I can say anything I want to you.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to be aware of what we're saying to others, You don't know, like, when you, I don't know, might hurt somebody, And sometimes people say things that they don't mean to hurt other people, but there's a difference. Like, if you're intentionally saying, like, mean things and calling people names, like, nah,
And, a lot of people don't realize that, too, sarcasm is almost always a pain that they're covering up, and now they're going to inflict pain on you with the sarcasm.
Yes. Yeah. My grandfather he was very sarcastic. Oh my gosh. Like, I try to tell him how I felt about stuff. He was just very sarcastic.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it hurt, because I'd, try to express my pain, but.
Right.
Yeah. I remember, in my first marriage before Sandy, I guess it was BS because before Sandy. But in that, I remember her mom would say, would just put her down. It was before me and her married back then. But her mom and that would put her down. And I remember her mom one day saying, "Oh, it's for her own good."
Oh.
That the world's going to treat her so much worse. And so in her mind, again, because her mom's been hurt by so much back then. Yeah. So because of that, she believed this, that if she was the one to bring her daughter down, then it would be better because the world couldn't do it.
Dang. It's like,
and I know quite a bit of people like that.
It's like everybody has been hurt, in some form or fashion, but it's like how you deal with that hurt and turn it around and, stop that cycle right there and be like, you know what? I don't want to be like them. I want to use my words to uplift people. Use it for the good and for positivity,
Yeah.
So important.
Like, and again, there's so much different types of hurt. I mean, just like with Sandy, she went through a church hurt.
Oh, right. Yeah. My dad was a pastor of one of those really small churches, and the people always judged our family. They judged the clothes I wore, anything we did, just because he was the pastor.
And although we go to church every week now, it was years before me and her went to church in our marriage.
Right. And it had to be a large church.
And it had to be a large church because, again, I'm not saying this don't happen in big churches, because it does, but you don't hear it
as much.
Yeah. That has to be so tough. That has to be really, really tough.
Yes. And it sort of shaped my identity at that time, but years later.
You want to know how tough it is? We went to it. Now, this is a big church in Jacksonville. We went to it, but she couldn't be comfortable there because they had pews.
That's true. That's how
the new churches mostly have, of course, the new chairs and all that. But even though this was a big church, it had pews, and she's like, "I am just uncomfortable."
Oh my God. It's like we have to find, something that like works for us.
Right. Yeah. Right. What we can handle.
And and we kind of joke about it, but it's so true that again, you got, like when we moved to Nashville, we already know the church we're going to go to there is Cross Point.
Oh yeah, it's a great church. Yeah.
I like what they're doing. They seem to be non-judgmental and everything.
We've been there.
They seem to be solid in believing that love is where it's at.
Yes. Are they non-denominational?
Yeah.
Yeah, non-denominational.
Yeah, in fact, their main campus, which is their stadium style campus, is right on the river.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That must be so pretty.
And I think
they're building like a new children's area.
Yeah. They were one of the ones that got hit hard with the tornado downtown.
Yeah, part of their building got hit.
It destroyed the whole children's
area.
And they're just now about that's how long it's in fact I was talking to them when we were there, and they were talking about how when they were planning on eventually rebuilding the children's anyway, but then you'd have to cut back things and cut this in order to do that, because you don't have the space to build while it's going on. And they said, well, when this happened, it gave them that chance, like, you know what, let's do it right.
Go on and
so they took 2 years taking it. Now granted, again, they started it and planned it, and then COVID happened. So again, so much. But they finally, I think, almost got. I think I seen an update recently that, and then I think it's next month supposed to finally reopen the children's area.
Oh, that's good.
They have like 4 or 5 campuses across Nashville, but that's the main one is right downtown. I think they run about 5,000 a weekend.
Wow.
So, and we it's funny. We picked them because I felt I've been connected on Twitter for them since like 2014, 15 era, way back.
Oh, back when we were doing New Country Buzz.
I was following them and they were following me. And just one day I was looking through my Twitter feeds and I'm like, oh, we follow each other. And then all of a sudden I was like, so that's kind of how I picked. That when we went and we were like, oh, we love this. So
that's awesome.
And then they do they do a podcast called Anything Is Possible. And and I love that. Again, every part of their beliefs we've loved. So that we just like, you know what, that's home from where we are here.
That's so great that you found some place that you feel at home, with. That's awesome.
So talking about all this and music and all that, none of this works without teams.
Oh, that's so true.
And I always like to talk about that side of it, because teams never get love that they deserve.
They don't.
But on our show, as you know, they get love. So take a few moments and tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
My team. I don't have a big team, but I have a couple people. I love my co-writers. My husband Adam. We write a lot together. My friend Scott Barrier, we write a lot together. Joe Cizalia, Donna King, we love to write together. My PR person, Sherry Cranford.
Oh, we love her. Yeah.
She's wonderful, super sweet, and is, always looking for opportunities for me. And I have to give a shout out to my photographer, Manny Cabo, though I haven't had a shoot with him in a while. And Joe Kaliva does some artwork, though he's been really busy lately and hasn't been able to, design artwork for me lately. But I love my team. And like I said, it's a small team, but, Oh, and also I almost forgot my Spotify team and Novo Management. They're great.
Awesome.
Love that. And speaking of teams and family, we have a third co-host, our 10-year-old that we bring on. So Sandy's going to go get him.
I'll get him.
And our Caitlin, she turns 3 tomorrow, and when she gets older, she'll be plugged into the show too, because we always keep it family affair.
Oh, happy birthday, Caitlin. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's 3 tomorrow, going on 20. She's already a little diva in herself, and we're sitting there, Sandy and I are like, if she's like this at almost 3, what's she going to be like at 13?
Oh my gosh. Enjoy your childhood while you have it.
Exactly.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Alayna. So what's your favorite food?
Oh my gosh. That is so tough because I think I like cheese.
Anything with cheese, huh?
Yes. Yes.
And what's yours?
Mine is pizza.
Oh my gosh, my husband loves pizza too.
Yeah, he'd eat it all day long if he could.
What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza is pepperoni sauce and supreme and pineapple.
He's got like 4 different faves.
I love mushrooms.
Okay,
Like,
that's good too.
Yeah.
Mushrooms is awesome.
Okay, so what's your favorite TV show and movie?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now, my favorite movie is Billy Madison.
God.
My favorite TV show right now, I'm watching 1883.
God, that's
Kind of scary. There's a lot happening, but yeah. That's what I'm watching right now.
What's yours?
My favorite TV show is Spotlight, and my favorite movie is The Minions.
Dude, SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love me some SpongeBob.
Everybody loves SpongeBob, don't they?
Yeah. Bye, thanks.
Bye. Thanks for asking me questions.
Yeah, he loves to do that part of the show. He's been on almost every show. And I think he even asked you the very first time we had you on the show, and he was asking one question in. And I remember too, you January of 2020 or February 2020 was actually not the first time we interviewed you.
No, it was like a long time before that.
Yeah, it was either 2014 or 15 when we was doing just New Country Buzz.
Yeah, it was like way back there. I remember that.
Because I remember
back when we were transcribing then.
Yeah, I hated that part of it. We didn't do a show. We interviewed and transcribed, and I hated it.
That's a lot of work.
In fact, I remember back then that you and Lily Nelson were two of our faves.
Oh yes, and Allison Steele, and
Allison
two
Steele.
Steele girls. Yep.
Lily Nelson. Oh my gosh.
Because I met you because I remember we started following Lily on Twitter back then, and then she was posting stuff about you, and then I started following that, and I was like, and that's kind of what connected us to you.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen her in a while. I hope she's doing well. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she's went through a lot of changes too. You can see from Facebook and all that.
Yeah,
she's looks like she's trying to find herself.
Yeah,
which is good. Always good to do that.
Oh
yes, that takes time.
It does.
Yes, some people never find themselves.
Yes, we started this later, a little later.
Yeah, we started this show. I was 48 years old, and who does that at 48 years old? Has never done radio, never done TV.
Yep, in our 40s.
And here it is. Over 500 interviews later, here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
And you always hear people talk about the Peter Pan syndrome, and I always think, what's wrong with that? Because that's
I would never want to grow up.
Why would you want to grow up?
Right.
Again, you can still be responsible and still not grow up, so to speak.
Still do backflips at the trampoline park, right?
Do backflips at 50. So
are you guys doing backflips?
Well,
he does
on the trampoline.
Yeah, the trampoline. I don't get all of that.
Now, granted, I tried to make this go viral, and you never know, it still might. But I actually did a backflip on the trampoline at Trampoline Park, and I over rotated a little bit. So when I come down, it slung me into the wall. I mean,
it looked like a magnet pulling him to the wall, and
it's about a 7-second video, but every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, because I remember that when I hit that wall, it was just a shock. Because from the time I hit the trampoline to me hitting the wall, I didn't see that coming. I mean, it happened so fast. It was like bam, I got
it on video.
And it just so happens that she was recording. When that
oh my goodness.
He was like, film this backflip. I was like, sure. And then backflip failed. That one.
Man. Talk about, scary, being 50 and you're like, okay, my bones ain't the same as it was when they were 20, but I seem to be okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I mean sometimes injuries happen that you don't know for years. So let's hope that's not the case.
That's a month or so ago.
5 years down the road, you'll be like, oh.
I don't know.
So what's the second song you're gonna perform for us?
Oh, I was wondering, is it okay if I play my song called Psych Ward?
Yeah.
Oh, please do. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
It's just about my experience in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I wrote it with Adam, my husband. And
oh, wow.
And yeah, okay. Yeah, this is called Side Chord. I admit it, I was addicted, lost my mind for a minute. Nurse took all my belongings, 3 a.m. when I rolled in. Medications, evaluations, with a whole lot of questions. And now it's daily group sessions, strangers with confessions. We all think we're the most sane person in this place, washing our pills down with orange crush and powdered eggs, walking round in these gowns with no way to escape, praying we get released from all these crazies. Oh Lord, it's another glorious, notorious day in the psych ward. Yeah. No sharp objects or shoelaces, no sunshine on our faces, metal toilets, cold showers, watching Lifetime for hours, working through our troubles, coloring by numbers, use a landline to call our loved ones, to pass the time here in lockup. We all think we're the most sane person in this place, our pills down with orange crush and powdered eggs, walking round in these gowns with no way to escape, praying we get released from all these crazies. Oh Lord, it's another glorious, notorious day in the psych ward. Yeah. Oh, hey, hey. Well, some guys yelling about Armageddon. I'm trying to keep myself level-headed, so my stay here doesn't get extended. We all think we're the most sane person in this place, washing our pills down with orange crush and powdered eggs, walking round in these gowns with no way to escape, praying we get released from all these crazies. Oh Lord, it's another glorious, notorious day in the psych ward. Yeah, yeah. Oh hey, hey, we're cray, cray, getting out today. Hey, hopefully. Hey, hey.
Love it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You know, that's the thing about musicians. You got to be careful because every if you're a part of their life, you're going to eventually be in their song.
Yeah, like Taylor Swift does. All the exes.
This is true. I have to do it to deal with stuff. Like I said, my ex-boyfriend messaged me last night. That will probably end up as a song.
Yeah, I will look forward
I'll probably write a song about that. So looking forward to having more material.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah.
But that's what's great because again, y'all see life is the material, and I love that attitude because that really is you know, you can't just, you know, again, there's so much going on in this world that you can look at and you could just be miserable for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
but you can't do that. You got to just say, you know what? I can't change it, but I can change my attitude towards it.
Right. I had to put some humor in there, you know, like just to deal with it, and yeah, totally. Like it's really hard for me to just write like fluffy songs. Like really, really tough. I mean, I can write them, you know, like them. It's just like I don't have any passion behind it. You know, it's like
I've noticed you write the extremes. You write either the really deep or the really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
writing
those
these songs. It's just like how I've always dealt with stuff, and you know, writing lyrics goes back to when I was like 14 and trying to deal with stuff by myself in my room, and you know, it's just like I have to do that. It's just I feel like it's my mission, you know, as an artist, is to be super, super vulnerable and honest, and I admire that. I think Taylor Swift is like that, and
right.
You know, I think people appreciate that, you know, like if they don't, you know, write songs or anything like that, it's like you kind of gave them a voice, you know.
And you know, and people eventually see through the artist that, you know, is either writing for other people or writing for, you know, or get songs that are really not them. Eventually people will see through that.
Yeah. I mean, I think people even know, like, sometimes on the radio right now, like, sometimes there's, like, the fluffy songs, and, you know, I think people recognize that. You know what I mean? I think they do.
Yeah.
I really do. So I just hope to keep delivering, you know, honest stuff and vulnerable stuff, and that's just, you know, trying to make it sound, like, catchy and stuff like that so people can sing along easy, you know? So let's keep trying, you know.
Oh, you do a great job.
Thank you.
So if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Any artist?
Yeah.
Oh, any artist? God, that's so tough.
Lots to choose
from. A million names. I could say a million things. Dead or alive? Oh my God.
There's so many.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, that would be a cool one.
You know, Miranda Lambert. I love her.
Yeah, she's
Maren
great.
Morris is great.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would say that's the three that come to the top.
You know what's funny is when we first heard the new song of Miranda and Elle's song, I didn't realize it was two different. Again, if you don't pay attention closely, their voices blend so much together.
They do. I really like that song. It's like really, it's poppy for Miranda.
It is.
Oh, like really catchy. I like.
Yeah, it is. It's just fun.
Yeah, because every time it comes on, we crank it up. Because again, it's like you said, it's just one of them songs that even that
song.
It is.
Yeah, I've listened to it at the gym before. Like on the treadmill, I'm like,
oh yeah, while you're yeah.
Oh.
So now this also has 1,000 different answers, but what's a song you wish you wrote?
I wish I wrote. Oh, yeah. Probably. I have two. Okay, I have two. The House That Built Me.
Oh, we love that one. That's a beautiful song.
And then my favorite song of all time, probably, I wish I wrote it, Desperado by the Eagles.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
Such a great song. Right. I love to sing it. Man, I wish I wrote that.
I remember we asked somebody that, and they were like, any song that went #1.
They took the easy route. Oh, and somebody said happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Somebody recently said the happy birthday song.
The
royalties forever.
Everybody uses that one.
That's funny. That's a good answer.
Because they were like thinking strategic here instead of thinking what I would like to write. Or like they're like, you know what? I'd like to write the song that's at the top.
Yes.
Everybody knows it.
Yes. Absolutely.
What would you like for your legacy to be in the music industry? What would you like to be most known and remembered for?
Oh my gosh. Wow. You know, I really love all of the wonderful things that Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga has done.
Mm-hmm.
I really love how Lady Gaga talks openly about mental health.
Oh, yes, that's so important to talk about. Mm-hmm.
Her Born This Way Foundation,
that she
started, I think is really, really wonderful. And if I were ever to have, that opportunity, I would love to do something similar.
Yeah.
Start some foundation or something. I think that would be really, really great. Yeah. I really admire her for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Love that.
She talks openly about, she went through rape when she was 19, and she talks openly about things. And I don't know, she's really inspiring to me.
And I think in this day and time with social media and all that, I think for artists, if they're going to be the size of her, you have to talk openly about your, because I think that social media has created that where people want to get close to you as an artist now.
Yeah.
And they want that story. They want that your past. They want to know all the gritty details. And so I think in this day and time, you almost have to go there.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, did I interrupt you? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I have been, like, since I quit my job, like, I've been more consistent on TikTok, and I'd like to share some of my story on TikTok,
Yeah.
Reach people, and hopefully, other people can relate. Well, I'm sure they can, it's like when I play my song Chemical Imbalances, I always start off and I'm like, has anyone here experienced any family drama? And everyone, yes. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yes. If you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
I want to tell them thank you. Just thank you for everything. Thank you for listening, and thank you for liking my posts and for commenting and sharing, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I love you guys, and I love my Laniacs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love that. So as we close out here, what advice would you give somebody who wants to do what you do?
I would say start now. I would say start now. Whatever you can do. I wasn't allowed to have voice lessons growing up, so I took choir in school. I took choir and tried to learn and try to teach myself guitar. Just like do whatever. There's tutorials. There's stuff on YouTube. There's endless amounts of learning stuff on YouTube, and I always use a site called ultimate-guitar.com to find tabs and stuff and myself stuff. And if you're, afraid, just know that, like, you got to start. You just have to take the first step, to do, if you want to do YouTube, like, just make your first video, put it out there, just like.
YouTube's a tough one to crack, though. We've been pushing hard on YouTube since last May. It's starting to get some traction now, but everybody that we've talked to says, YouTube's about a 12 to 18 month build.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're learning that, but it's starting to grow a little bit.
It's like pick a day. I feel like you should like pick a day, pick a time to upload, and stay consistent. Like stay with it. So like that's what, when I was like getting more and more views on YouTube, is because I was like posting whatever every Thursday at 4:00.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and it's one of them catch-22s, because with as a host, I really see Facebook starting to go backwards. And all that. So I'm trying to make this transition into YouTube with our show, but until it gets more views, I can't just not stream to Facebook. So it's like trying to make this transition. It's like Facebook goes smaller because of this. And, so it's one of them catch-22s. If I go all the way in, then we get no views, until we build. So it's like trying to build both before we make that transition where we mostly stream to YouTube.
It's so crazy because it's always changing too. Like
it is.
It's always changing, like algorithms and everything. It's like you have to keep up. Like
about changing. We had a video that was averaging about 100 views a day. 100 views every day for the last 3 months. And then all of a sudden, just like a week ago, it's gotten 5 a day. And I'm like, okay, what happened here?
You know.
Things speed up, things go down. Like, it's like, all I know is to keep doing it, you know. Yeah.
So tell everybody how they can find you.
Okay. I have an official website. It is alaynasmusic.com, ALAYNAS music.com. Alayna on Facebook, and there is a couple other Alaynas, but I'm the country one.
Yeah.
And TikTok, Alayna924, YouTube, Alayna924, Instagram and Twitter, Alayna924.
Love that. We really enjoyed having you back on the show, and we look forward to having you back a fourth time down the road.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for making time for me in your busy schedule.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We always love it when you come on.
We do. Always fun.
Thank you.
And we never know where it's going to go, too.
Yeah. We
love
it.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Our pleasure.
Thanks. And thanks for your time
You have a
today.
great day.
You too.